Hello, this is Angela with Angela's Busy Bees Gardens and Homestead. Guys, I just want to give you a tour of my home garden. We've had several days of rain, and today being Saturday, guys, the day was just perfect for getting a lot of work done in the garden. It wasn't very hot. It was pretty much an overcast day. So I got a lot of things done. I've done some more planting, and also I have cleaned up and added some plants to my butterfly garden. So I'm going to begin by taking you into my home garden, and I will start with bed number one. And numbering my beds have really helped me to keep up with what I grew and where I grew it based on these numbers. And so in bed number one, I have eggplant and bell peppers. And these are all the sweet bell peppers. I also have some blackberries growing in this bed as well. And so I'm going to allow that to grow and then dig it out towards the end of the year. But as you can see, the peppers are looking really well, and the eggplants are in the back because they are typically a bit taller. And I am going to stake all of these probably tomorrow. Normally I would stake them when I'm planting them. But this is bed number one. Over here I have more sweet bell peppers in these containers. And over here, guys, would you look at these mustard greens? And you remember when I transferred them, they were winter sown, and I added them to these containers. And that first one there looked like it's ready for some harvesting. I'm noticing just a few bites, so I need to come in and spray. But other than that, they are looking quite beautiful. In bed number two, this is where I have my broccoli. And as you can see, some are larger than others, but it is time for a liquid feeding, and I will be using the 511 to fertilize it. I also have a Sedum Autumn Joy in this bed for pollinators. I have marigolds, and also I have some phlox. Over this way, I have some more marigolds, and this is my celery, and it has grown as well since the rain that we've had. Over here, guys, in these crates, I have placed a box, and I will be planting some more of my potatoes in each of these boxes. I didn't plant all of my potatoes at the same time because I don't want them all to be ready for harvesting at the same time, and then I'll have to worry about how I'm going to store it. So I have taken basically a 2-3 week break in between planting so that they're all not ready at the same time. Then over here, guys, I have my tomatoes. And we had a little cold snap. I think it got down to 38, 39 degrees, but all of the tomatoes seem to have made it very well. There's a little bit of yellowing on some of the leaves, but I'm going to take care of that with fertilizing and adding a little Epsom salt as well to the fish emulsion. Over here, guys, in bed number three, this is where I have another Sedum Autumn Joy for the pollinators. I have my Brussels sprouts, alliums, and guys, they are absolutely beautiful in the garden. And also a few marigolds. This is my Texas Star Hibiscus that I'm waiting to come back. Here are some sugar snap peas, and they should be climbing pretty soon up this trellis. Oh, I'm going from bed number three to bed number four. Here are my potatoes. These are my russet potatoes. And as you can see, they've come up beautifully. And just as Lady Cheryl said, they weren't going to be affected by those cold temps. They did just fine, even though I added another layer of leaves to them. But as you can see, they are growing beautifully. Over here behind bed number 3, I have carrots. I have collards in my tiered planter, more carrots, and this is my kale. The collards are really looking beautiful in the tiered planter. Over here I have more carrots, and guys, let me show you something. Oh my goodness, they are poking out from the soil. I'll be harvesting that very soon. Over here are more of my tomatoes. Some of these dead leaves I need to remove, but other than that, they survive the cold temps. So did the basil. In bed number 5, as you can see, my cabbage is growing. I'm telling you, when it rains, you will see that your vegetables will grow by 2 and 3 inches after a really good rain. And so the cabbage is looking good. The kale and the cinder blocks are also growing. And in between those, I also have some yellow marigolds. I've got some daylilies also in the cells, and some zinnias. And these zinnias won't get any taller than about 12 inches, but more kale and more marigolds. That's bed number 5. In bed number 6, I have my Swiss chard, and everything is just coming up really nicely. I think it's time also to start spraying. When things start growing nicely, that's usually when the pests come out. So everything needs to be fertilized and given a little boost. And also, it wouldn't hurt for me to go on and spray with a little neem oil, or either I'll use my orange oil from the New Orleans Gardener to spray these vegetables. But would you look at all those beautiful colors from the Swiss chard? And then guys, I also have petunias in between the kale plants, as you can see here. They will be putting on more blooms as the weather gets warmer. And also guys, because of this trellis here, I went on and planted some pickling cucumbers so that it can attach to this trellis here. In bed number 7, and the kale has grown so tall here that it's trying to cover my number 7. But the kale also looks like I can get a nice harvest now. And look at the collard greens. They are really growing beautifully. I also have some zinnias that I sowed from seed. These are going to be a little taller, and they are in bed number 7 with my collards. Behind bed number 4, I have some more sugar snap peas, another Texas Star hibiscus that I'm waiting on to come up, some more carrots, another sugar snap peas, and then here guys, I have some more of my peppers that I grew. So because this is a big barrel, I added 5 peppers here and 4 in this one. and 4 peppers there in the back. And guys, as you can see, my comfrey is really growing and it's going to seed. I will be harvesting these leaves and we'll be using it as well for comfrey tea to fertilize the garden. Over here, guys, I have some more peppers, and they were quite small, but they were ready to go into the garden. And I've got 1 petunia in here. I have some more cucumbers here and 2 cucumbers here. And guys, look at this beautiful comfrey. I purchased 1 little piece from Diva Jones, and that 1 piece has produced all of these. So it doesn't take much for it to get going. That was a very good purchase that I made because this has really grown beautifully, and I've been able to divide it into, I think, 10 plants from 1 little piece. These are my blueberries. I've got 4 blueberry bushes. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is a tour of my home garden, and now I will be taking you to my butterfly garden. So my butterfly garden begins here. This is off of my den, and the butterfly garden is in between my house and garage. And as you can see, I've got lots of plants growing. This is Ava's fairy garden, and there are some little angels in the fairy garden with some lilies, a little house back there. And growing up this trellis is by clematis. Here I have a blueberry bush, bunch of daylilies, irises, and other things in this purple container. Over here, I have another sedum autumn joy, and I'm going to plant something else that can go up this trellis. But there are lots of coneflowers, geraniums, black-eyed Susans, moss rose, more zinnias, impatiens, and then guys, up all along this wall, I have flowers, impatiens, geraniums, zinnias, roses, lantanas in these hanging baskets on the greenhouse. I've planted some petunias and impatiens here. But all along this wall, guys, I have flowers. I have some more containers like this one here. I have yet to put something in, but I'll get to that as soon as I can. But I'll just let you just take a look at what all I have growing in the butterfly garden. And I will be adding some dill and also some parsley to the butterfly garden because they serve as food for the butterflies, and so I want to make sure that they have what they need. Another 2 things that are needed would be water and rocks. And as you see here, I have some little rocks and a few marbles just to add color during the night. I've also added something for I added something here for pollination. Um, more flowers here, and I'll be adding a rose into that pink pot and more flowers there. But just wanted to share with you my butterfly garden. This is a lantana. Would you look at the pink and the yellow? And I absolutely love angels. This is a Nanking cherry bush among some salvia. So I will be adding some host plants for the butterfly garden. As I mentioned, some dill and parsley, and hopefully I'll be able to attract some butterflies to the butterfly garden. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Bye bye.